A knight is saying a prayer as he gets ready for battle. The knight yells that he shall smite his opponent, but is then killed by a creature. Another fighter appears with his arrogance, but he is also killed. Another girl who is looking for the Lord of the Tower also comes, but is beheaded by the creature. The creature calls the humans he is killing his toys. It calls itself Baphomet, and claims to be the master of the tower, and the appraiser who judges the quality of the toys. Being visited by a toy is an event that brings him joy. Baphomet mentions that there is a peculiar feature on the door that he cannot open. He is barred from entering the world where the toys live and can only wait until a new toy opens the doors and walks inside. Baphomet is bored with the place and wonders why he is the only one who is stuck there. A phone dropped by one of the toys fascinates him. Baphomet becomes curious about the world the toys live in, and the more he dives into the device, the more he learns about their lives, and the more he desires to see the real thing. Baphomet notices someone coming up the tower, but that doesn't excite him anymore. When Baphomet begins fighting, he deems this person the toy of the highest quality as they are able to stand up against him, and rates it as the fight he has been waiting for. Baphomet questions why he feels jealous of this toy. Baphomet calls himself the supreme fighter, but the toy mocks him, saying he is trapped there, which angers Baphomet. After killing the toy, Baphomet makes a wish to leave the place and become a free and powerful human. A cube appears, informing him that the main quest is to kill the hunter, and the reward is his deepest desire. It then mentions that the abyssal tower has been cleared and will soon collapse, and the tower explodes. The cleanup crew are clearing the rubble when they ask each other how many hunters have died trying to compete in the abyssal tower. They discover that there is a survivor. Baphomet thinks to himself that he nearly died at that moment, but he killed the brute and survived. The cube then appears and confirms that the quest has been completed. When the construction workers ask who the survivor is, Baphomet reveals that he is the survivor and that he is now human. Hunters are those who fight against demonic beasts within gates and towers, but they weren't really held in high regard. A gate shock is a phenomenon in which demon beasts are released into the world through a gate when the tower is left standing for too long. The gate shock wiped out a third of the world's population, and after that incident, humankind began to train hunters to destroy the towers. Baphomet, as the leader of the abyssal tower, was the one who killed the most hunters but also chose to become human after being fascinated with them. However, people mistake him as the hunter who cleared the abyssal tower. People wanted him to prove his strength, but unfortunately, he had lost his powers and was accused of being a liar and a scammer. The once leader of the tower became a back alley gang leader in a dungeon mine. In a dungeon mine somewhere, a newcomer announces that he looks forward to working with everyone. The newcomer gets shown around and is told that the mine is bigger thanks to the hunters who killed the demonic beasts and cleared the path for the rest. The newcomer gets assigned to Area D of the mine. The orientation gets disturbed by a bunch of thugs who have wriggled their way into the quarry. The foreman is fond of them because they are amazing at the job. When being handed his paycheck, Baphomet is told that his check was sent over to someone else. Baphomet remembers that the money is going to the quack doctor where he went when he was on a downward spiral after being accused of being a scammer. He was injured and taken to the hospital but didn't have the money to pay the doctor. Before he knew it, he was slaving away in the mine to pay her off. In the mines, people who recognized him as a scammer bullied Baphomet, but he beat them up, and after a while, they started gathering around him one by one, and that's how he became their leader in the mines. Meanwhile, the newcomer wanders off to the wrong side of the mine, where he was told to stay away from because it is not cleared. There, hunters are fighting some sort of bull demon. Baphomet, on the other hand, wonders why he lost his strength because that was not the reason he wanted to become human. Baphomet wanted to become a strong human. His friends cheer him up. Baphomet experiences joy like how he felt when he played with the toys in the tower without having to fight. An explosion occurs, which kills Baphomet's friends, whom he calls toys. The newcomer tells the other hunters that sneaking into the mine was worth it, and the hunters recognize him as a scavenger. Scavengers are rumors of hunters who attack and steal items. The hunters fear him because he is a B-class hunter. The scavenger kills one of the hunters. The scavenger calls more of his friends and captures one of them. They leave the hunter's weapons because they are bound weapons. When you pick up the bound weapon, your powers drop to 0%. Meanwhile, a cube appears in front of Baphomet, informing him of a hidden quest which was completed. The quest was to feel rage for the sake of a human, and the reward is the power he desires. Baphomet asks which one of the scavengers broke his toys. Baphomet picks up the bound weapon, and the cube appears, informing him that his performance is reduced to 0% when using another owner's bound item. but the system crashes and activates Baphomet's passive skill, which allows for automatic usage of skills. Baphomet asks if the scavengers broke his toys. He charges towards the scavengers, and they wonder if Baphomet was a hunter too. They fight, and Baphomet kills the other two scavengers. The newcomer then fights Baphomet while wondering which class Baphomet belongs to because of his advanced fighting skills. The newcomer wonders why a hunter was hiding in disguise as a common thug. The newcomer uses a whip sword, which is a perfect counter to those who have too much faith in their physical abilities. The cube activates Baphomet's passive skill called the death throw, where in case of a sudden loss of blood, all stats receive a 15% buff, and Baphomet starts seeing and blocking attacks all of a sudden. The newcomer starts wondering if Baphomet is a B-class hunter. Baphomet cuts off the newcomer's limbs on behalf of his friends, whom the newcomer killed, and finishes him off for pissing him off. Power comes at a price for those who seek it. The passive skill death throw has triggered the debuff, and Baphomet has gone berserk. He needs a human, not a dead one, but a living and breathing human. He says he exists to kill humans, and it is the purpose of his creation. He turns to the survivor hunter and tries to kill her when he is stopped by two other humans who are looking for survivors. One of the men puts Baphomet to sleep. Baphomet dreams of someone calling him weak and putting a sword through him. When he wakes up in a room, a voice behind a wall identifies Baphomet as the con man who lied about clearing the abyssal tower. The voice wonders why the conman killed a hunter they have been looking for and wonders if he was a scammer. Baphomet addresses the voice, saying that if they want to know who he is, they have to introduce themselves first and not hide behind a wall. Baphomet admits to killing the hunter and says he would do it over and over again. The man behind the voice then appears in the room, and Baphomet jumps in an attempt to fight him, but the man is too quick for him as he grabs Baphomet by the neck and presses him to the ground. The man introduces himself to Baphomet as a secret guild under the government created to apprehend criminal hunters called Rogue. The man continues to tell Baphomet that the scavenger he killed was a criminal hunter who was to be killed immediately after discovery. The robe man says that he cannot avoid the fact that Baphomet brutally murdered the 5 young men and concludes that evil comes naturally to Baphomet. If they don't stop him, he'll likely become a criminal hunter. He continues, saying that someone with natural instincts like him should become a hunter for Rogue. At Rogue headquarters, Baphomet goes to register as a hunter. He is asked to produce a code name for himself since a lot of work needs to be done in secret. He smiles and mentions they will regret giving him the chance and he'll become stronger than everyone. He registers the name Baphomet. Baphomet is fighting a wolf demon, and as they fight, he tries to summon his powers, but he realizes they aren't working. However, he defeats the demon anyway. He wonders why he hasn't fully regained his powers and can only think of one reason why they haven't returned completely. The cube informs him that the hidden quest is complete. The quest was to feel rage for the sake of humans, and the reward would be the power he desired. Baphomet wonders what the cube thing is as it keeps telling him to do things back when he was at the tower and even now as a human. A rogue agent approaches Baphomet and asks him why he is looking for attention since he used the tower's boss name as his code name. It seems that Baphomet is holding a grudge against everyone who accused him of scamming, and even worse, he is told that the investigation of the Abyssal Tower has been completed, and it was Raven who cleared the tower. Baphomet ignores the rogue agent, saying they can talk all they want, and that he has heard plenty of it already. His goal now is to get strong enough to shut them all up. When they arrive at Jeju Island, Baphomet recognizes the sea as he saw it on the device he played within the tower and runs towards it. When he gets in a taxi, he stares at the other humans. They arrive at the Halton building where the orientation happens. It's a training session for novice hunters, with guidelines issued by the government. Baphomet gets issued an identification card and a smartphone, and on the identification, it states that his new name is Minu Cha. Inside the orientation room, newly registered hunters are welcomed by Seong Eun Ma, the director in charge of organizing the orientation. Some other guests begin to talk about Baphomet and question why he is using the codename Baphomet, accusing him of being a narcissist. The robe man leaves Baphomet, telling him that they should pretend like they don't know each other. The other table continues to talk negatively about Baphomet, and he thinks to himself that even at that table, his reputation is bad, and the hunters will likely treat him as a national criminal. The class hunters also join the room, and the rogue agent is informed that some hunters are starting special training that day. The rogue man deems this as a great opportunity and a good influence for novice hunters. Meanwhile, at the other table, Minu Cha is fascinated with the food on his plate as he had seen photos on the device from the tower. While enjoying his food, a class hunter named Leon accidentally spills a drink on Minu Cha's head. Leon blames Minu-cha for the loss of many hunters to Baphomet and accuses him of using a code name like Baphomet to provoke other hunters. Minu-cha gets up and dumps his plate over Leon's head. He asks Leon why everyone is triggered by the name and reminds them that he won't resurrect Baphomet by using the name. Minu-cha adds that if they really cared about their friends, they could have defeated Baphomet earlier. This angers Leon, and he tries to hit Minu-cha, but he is stopped by another A-class student who is Hunter Raven's younger brother.